President Bola Tinubu says Nigerians must make sacrifices and have faith in the country while assuring peace and prosperity. That was his Sallah Day message. And the government of Osun State has alleged an assassination attempt on Governor Adeleke at the Eid praying ground in Osogbo today. Senator Ajibola Basiru, a former Senate spokesperson who is involved in that matter, says it is not true. But we shall be hearing tonight from the two sides on the program. Hello everyone, welcome to the program. Happy Eid Kabir to all our Muslim brothers and sisters wherever you may be watching tonight, and welcome to the program. This is Politics Today live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Kimaloe in Abuja. Let's begin tonight by letting you know what President Bola Tinubu has said. He's asking Nigerians to make sacrifices, urging Nigerians to have faith in God that the country will experience peace, stability, and prosperity. The president was observing the Eid Kabir prayers at the Jordan Barracks praying ground in Lagos. The president stressed the need for unity and cooperation, appealing to Nigerians to ensure that ethnicity and religious rivalries does not separate them. Take a listen to President Tinubu after the prayers today.
May our sacrifices turn to prosperity. We have to make a sacrifice, and that is clear, if we have to. But Allah will not give you a burden that you cannot carry. Will not. It's there for you. Have faith in the country. Have faith in yourself, believing that you, as a citizen of this country, you must join hands. No religious identity, no tribal identity. Live with one another in joy and prosperity. It will come. Nigeria will see peace, stability, and God will grant peace to those of us who are in the war front. We spare their life. We give them victory. Those in the hospitals, we give them succor and peace, and keep them in good path to recovery. So you will just be spiritually uplifting. Have faith. Allah is there.
Then the President Bola Tinubu, after the prayers at the Jordan Barracks in Lagos, where he observed the Sallah celebration. Tonight, we shall be hearing from one of those who ran against President Bola Tinubu in the 2023 presidential election. A presidential candidate will be joining me tonight on the program. But of course, we want to also know what really happened in Osogbo today. There's a statement coming from the government in Osun State that there was an assassination attempt on the life of Governor Adeleke. Senator Ajibola Basiru was in the mix. We understand that the police invited him. What really happened? We'll be hearing from the two sides tonight on the program, so stick around with me. But first, let's serve you with your political roundup stories.
Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri joined the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and other Muslim faithful to offer the two-rakat prayers at the Eid ground in Yola, the Adamawa state capital. Speaking to Channels Television shortly after, The governor appealed to the citizens to promote peaceful coexistence and abide by the rule of law, as no individual is above the law. The Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde has congratulated all Muslims in the state and beyond on the celebration of the Eid al-Kabir, urging them to imbibe the spirit of selflessness encompassed in the tenets of Islam. Speaking to journalists after the Eid prayers in Ibadan, Governor Makinde urged the citizens to always do all they can to support government in the development of the state. From the southeast, the Enugu State Governor Peter Mba has felicitated with the Muslim faithful in Enugu State and Nigeria on this year's Eid al-Kabir celebration. Governor Mba, who was at the Central Mosque in Enugu to celebrate with the Muslims, called on both Muslims and other Nigerians to make uncommon sacrifices for the development of the country. The governorship candidate of the African Democratic Congress in the November governorship election in Imo State, Professor James Okoroma, is promising to replicate the achievement and policies of the first Democratic governor of the state, Sam Mbakwe, if voted as governor. Speaking during the inauguration of his campaign council, Professor Okoroma said his administration will ensure adequate security of Imo indigents and initiate programs and policies that will revive the economy.
Our great sons and daughters will be brought to the negotiation table. I will not invite the Nigerian army to go and kill them. At all. I will not invite policemen to go and kill them. I will not invite people to come and kill Imo people. Those who hate us are now the ones protecting us. Is it possible?
And ahead of the November governorship election in Kogi State, some indigents from 3 major ethnic groups are calling on the Department of State Services, the police and other security agencies to, as a matter of urgency, invite for questioning those publicly instigating violence in the state through hate campaigns and unfounded allegations. Addressing a news conference in Abuja, the Vice President, Kogi Youth Leaders Forum, Mr. Richard Leke, insists that those using their social media handles to spread falsehood and launch hate campaigns must be thoroughly investigated with the aim of prosecuting them.
It was meant to be a day of celebration across the globe, wherever Muslims are celebrating the Eid al-Kabir. And, well, it turned out to be some kind of commotion, and it was some rumpus today in Osogbo at the Eid praying ground in the capital of Osun State. The governor and the government of Osun State had come out to say there was an assassination attempt on the life of Governor Ademola Adeleke, who went to the praying ground to observe prayer. The government, in a statement today, through the spokesperson of the government, has said that, of the governor, Olawale Rashid, has said that there was an involvement or the role played by a former spokesperson of the Senate. According to the statement, there were thugs who encircled and barred the governor from getting entrance into the Eid praying ground, a commotion which saw the government leaving the venue. Afterwards, the police have been asked to intervene in the matter, and we understand there has been some questioning in that respect. And of course, the name of Senator Ajibola Basiru has been drawn into these, and he has also come out to say it is not true, that in fact there was a lack of proper administration of protocol on the side of the governor's team. So what really happened today? Let's get to hear from both sides. I'm being joined tonight by Senator Ajibola Basiru himself. He joins us virtually from Osogbo. Thank you so much, Senator Basiru, for joining us.
Yeah, good evening.
Thank you so much.
Ashim, how are you?
I'm good. And I'll also be joined by the spokesperson to Governor Ademola Adeleke, Mr. Olawale Rashid, who joins us virtually also from Iwo. Thank you so much, Mr. Rashid, for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Senator, give us an understanding. We're here that you gave a statement at a police station. Was that true? And the fact that there was an assassination attempt on the life of the governor, the statement mentioned that you have some role to play there. What really happened?
I think my training and my learning is that of a legal practitioner. Elementary rule that I was taught in the law school, in the law of evidence, is that he who asserts, must prove. As far as I'm concerned, the person making assertion as to assassination attempts on the life of Governor Adeleke is either himself or Olawale Rashid, the spokesperson. So I would rather say, let them assert what are the facts that will make them to say there was an assassination attempt. And to help them, I know if you check your dictionary, assassination means murder by sudden or secret means, usually for political reasons, and target usually at personalities. So the question was that, was there any attempted to murder the governor today at the Eid Parade ground? If there was such an attempt, I think they should give fact and figure to substantiate same. But I will not dignify an uninformed, and possibly what I know is that today I was at the Eid praying ground today in Osogbo, and I prayed at that Eid, and by Almighty God that I serve, I never cited Governor Adeleke, and I did not see him at all. I only saw his video just as I'm on your TV station today, and he was on the premises of the Eid by the video that I just saw now, some moments ago, and I saw him in company of several aides and people, walking from one place, to the other. Nobody, from the video you just show on your television screen now, I was shown to be harassing, molesting, or doing anything against, the person of Governor
Senator Basiru, if I may jump in quickly.
I also saw your video, a mammoth, yes.
Yeah, if I may jump in on quickly before I bring Olawale Rashid in that statement, it was stated, just a moment, in that statement, it states that the government particularly notes with shock and surprise the role played by former Senator Ajibola Basiru, who took over the space reserved for the governor at the prayer ground. All efforts to get the former senator to vacate the space proved abortive. Were you sitting in the chair or the seat or the space reserved for the governor?
I think don't let them create confusion for you. There's no chair in the mosque. And I tell you that as at the time, today, I did not see any seat earmarked for Governor Adeleke. I did also not see any protocol of the governor. I did not also see any advance party. I sat in my place. Then a moment after I've been on my seat, one man who I know is not a government official, Olawale Rashid want to tell me there's a governor official. His name is Muniru Raji. I know him to be a political irritant in Osogbo. Came and brought talks seeking to evacuate me from where I was sitting. And of course, the people around the place, as you see from the video you have shown, amateur video I just saw your TV station, rally around and say it would be unacceptable to get me to leave where I was sitting. So I don't know where and who are saying that a particular seat was reserved for the governor. And as I said, I did not see the governor until on your television station today.
All right.
So the question I ask is this, which maybe Olawale want to answer, whether talks at the protocol of who harassed me, remove my turban, and they rough handle me were people who are protocol officers trying to secure seats for Mr. Governor. So I did not talk with any known official of state government today to know where any seat.
Senator, quickly, I need to bring in Rashid Olawale now. Were you questioned by the police today? Did you put out any statement today after the prayers?
I did not put any statement today, but something shocking happened today, which will shock the conscience of all Nigerians. When I came to the Eid in company of eminent personality in Osogbo, Asiwaju Adini of Yoruba land, Alhaji Hamis Olatunde Badmus, Are Musulumi of Osogbo land, Alhaji Adekunle, Giwa Adini of Osogbo land, Dr. Bayo Jimon, Baba Adini of Osogbo land, who is incidentally my uncle, Alai Busari, a former retired as Assistant General of Police, Raimi Odofin, also my uncle, the former Deputy Speaker of the State Assembly, Honorable Akintunde, the PDP House of Rep elected, who is currently sitting, Adewale Gangaria. We were in the same vehicle to the Eid grant. And when I was leaving the Eid grant, as I was in the vehicle, one police officer came and said that the Commissioner of Police said I should see him. I said, no problem. I'll call him his number. I will go and see him in his office. Only for me to learn that they locked up every person on the Eid grant. They did not allow any vehicle to leave the Eid grant for 45 minutes, insisting I must highlight from the vehicle I brought to the Eid. And in that regard, we spoke with the CP, and I was at the office of the CP. I did not drop any statement. The CSO to Mr. Governor came, and they stated their own side of the story. Assassination issue was not brought up because I specifically asked the CP, who was the complainant? He said the government. I said, as far as I'm concerned, government is an inanimate object. There must be specific complainant. And I said, what is the complaint? He said the complaint is that I did not leave a seat prepared for the governor. I said I did not send any protocol officer, and no official of government approached me to formally request that. Rather, it was talks led by Muniru Raji that attempted to send me away from where I was sitting. And of course, with my leaders,
we have the government side now.
The police commission of police.
Senator, just a moment. Let's hear from the governor's side. The spokesperson to the governor of Osun said, Olawale Rashid, is also here with us virtually from Iwo. Mr. Rashid, what really happened? Was there an assassination attempt on the governor?
Thank you very much. Before I answer the question, let me quickly go over all what the senators has just said. One, the governor was live at Eid grant today, and all the facts were there. Chief Badmos and Pidmos and others, they interacted with, including the chief imam. Secondly, it was wrong and false to say there was no seat or protocol officers ahead. That's like an advance team. We have a red carpet that was actually laid for the governor, and we have 3 of our protocol officers who are there. And when they move up to onto the earmarked area, they were challenged, but they were overruled. And in the process, one of our honorable was beaten up. So it is wrong. The senator was wrong to have said there is no advanced party. We have an advanced party. The place was marked with a red carpet. And again, he made a reference to a leader of Incidentally, that Muniru Raji that the senator called a political irritant was one of the people responsible for the defeat of the senator in the last election. So definitely, if you call him a political talk, you are wrong. Now, let me go to the issue of assassination attempt. What we notice when we enter is that we enter into a trap. In addition to the issue of taking over the governor's seat, we notice armed, strange-looking guys positioned all over strategic positions within the Eid grant. When we saw that, when we enter, we thought, well, maybe they are security people. But at the time we enter and we are right close to the front of where we are supposed to pray, we noticed that these people are armed. And while we were watching over that, it was at that point we noticed the commotion, which is being shown here now. So we quickly said to the governor, oh, the security people said, no, let's go back to the car. We're going to secure the governor. We did that. Chief Bidmos and others came. I said, don't worry, everything is calm. By the time we come out again, those strange-looking people were encircling where the governor was staying, including the team. It was at that point we noticed that this is beyond ordinary, and we need to move. And that's why quickly we ferried the Gulf into the jeep, surround the jeep, and from there we left. And the police came in. They want to actually question the senator because he's the one that took over the space where the Gulf was supposed to stay, which started the whole commotion. And it is false to say that the Eid grant was locked up. It is false. It is not true. People were inside, they came out, and the senator was approached by the police. And as to the issue of, nobody brought up the issue of assassination attempt. The reality is this: God save our governor today, and we had a Thanksgiving event at the country home where we thank God for saving the life of our governor. And whatever Senator Ajibola will say, as of today, he has gone to the police, and I know the police will take up the matter.
So, I mean, let's look at what could have happened in a place where the governor was. There was an advance team, and these thugs that you said you saw there, have they been identified? Have they been arrested by the police? These men, you said they are with arms that are armed.
That's why I said the police is working on the matter. What we had was that they were brought in 3 buses. Who brought the buses? Some people were even linking the buses to the senator. And they were in dark mood, harmed. We were shocked. In fact, we have actually entered into that trap, not knowing there are people, strange people. They call them thugs, but they look more professional. They are not normal security people. There are 3 buses that convey them, and the buses were parked there.
I mean,
but overall, the good thing, the police are looking into it, and we think they will do a good job.
So, in your statement, Mr. Rashid, you drew Senator Bashiru playing a role in these. What was the connection?
Good. Let me give you an instance. If you get to an location and you are told this place is here marked for so person, the next thing we expect is for you to respect that. But you refused. And Bigmos came to us and said, okay, don't worry. If Bashir refused to leave that seat, I will leave my own for you. We said, no, that space where that red carpet is meant for the governor. And what is the link? The link, some few days ago, we issued a statement. And Senator Basiru is challenging us on this, on it. We said there are importation of some security people into the state, and we call on the IG to look into the matter. Senator Basiru petitioned against us, saying we are lying. We allege then that there is a plot to destabilize the state. Senator Basiru said it's a lie. Now today, what happened? Senator Basiru sat where the governor was supposed to sit, and all effort to get him out prove abortive. So whether there is a link or not, 2 + 2 look like 4.
Because assassination is a very strong offense in the body of our laws in this country. And so to link a senator to it, there probably is going to be some kind of evidence that is strong enough. But the question here is, could this be politically related? Could this be some rivalry between the APC and the PDP in Osun State?
Well, we just defeated the senator and his people. Many people are still in pain and still very bitter. And we suspect Senator Basiru is launching a political game. He wants to upstage former Governor Yetola and Senator Mishore. And maybe that's why he's putting up all this show. The reality is that we are in governance now. Our governor is taking care of Osogbo. We want Osogbo to be the real capital that it's supposed to be. And the Osogbo people are appreciating this. And the senator is not happy, obviously. So what happened today is clearly an attempt to undermine the relationship between the state governor and the people of Osogbo land. But it failed, because Osogbo people know who their friend is. Governor Ademola Adeleke is doing a lot for the people of Osogbo. And on the issue of assassination, being strong. I've read people talking about definition of assassination. When you say assassination attempt, that is an attempt. What are those dark, armed people doing? Strategically positioned where the governor has just entered. Why are they gradually encircling the governor? That is our point. And we're ferrying him out so that there will be no untoward incident, which is good for us. And we thank God for saving the life of our governor.
So
we stand by that story.
Is there any action being taken by the governor in this respect? If there are inclination that there was an assassination attempt on the #1 citizen of Osun State, what is the governor doing about that?
Already there has been a security meeting. The governor has issued a necessary directive. He has called for calm, and we are doing internal reshuffling of our own system to further secure the governor. So as of now, what is happening in the state is that leaders have been calling him, issuing statements, praying for the safety of the governor, and urging him to continue the good work he's doing.
All right, Senator, and I asked Mr. Rashid if this is politically linked, and he says, look, it might not be far away from the fact that you and your party have been defeated. Is this politics taken too far, Senator Bashir?
I think the guy speaking there on behalf of Osun State government is unfortunate that he's a comedian. What he's been saying is a tales by the moonlight. I went to the Eid today, and earlier today, Sheon, I sent to you, addressed like a proper Muslim with my turban. Somebody who has gone to the mosque to go and foment trouble and to carry out assassination will not go dressed, the way I've dressed. And you can check your phone. I sent it to you deliberately. Secondly, too, I came with a vehicle that Ashwaju Muslimi of Nigeria, of Yoruba land is, together with eminent Muslim personalities.
I'm sorry to call
somebody who is going to assassinate the character will not do that. Let me talk. I didn't cut you when you are talking, please. I think it is very uncouth for you to start interjecting when I'm speaking. So, as I was saying, I went there. Then, secondly, he said he saw armed personnel. I did not see any armed person. I did not go to the Eid with anybody. And it's on right on. We saw the gun moving to and fro, and none of the so-called armed people made any attempt. On the no. It's unfortunate who don't even credibility have serious approach to even talking about the government. The truth is this: I have been to see the Commissioner of Police. If they say they are doing investigation, let them do the investigation. But what I know is that he does not even know definition of what is called assassination. Assassination is a very serious offense.
So, Senator,
and to make such allegations, show that he does not know severity.
So, for us to bring this conversation home, and I'd like to quickly ask you, just a moment, Senator, before I allow...
I must say clearly, if you want to listen to me.
What did he say? Senator?
I'm listening, Sheon.
I wanted to ask you, out of courtesy, if the #1 citizen of the state is being said to, if you are being told that you are occupying the seat of the governor, out of courtesy, do you think you probably would have, with the benefit of hindsight, maybe left the seat for him out of courtesy? Was that possible?
I don't have any personal problem with Governor Adeleke. I think I want to advise Governor Adeleke. Some of his handlers are going to ruin his reputation as a peace-loving individual. People like Rashid and the Muniru that he mentioned. At the last Eid, the governor himself came to greet us where we were seated, and we exchanged banters. I have pictures I can show to you. But when you have people of mindset like Rashid and the so-called Muniru working for a government, making banal allegations of assassination attempt on a person like me, it shows the kind of thing they want to do. They want to make the governor by coming up with baseless allegation. Of course, definitely, if a protocol officer had approached me, and I know he's a protocol officer of government, I would definitely leave the place for the governor out of the respect for his office. But what I said is that the person that approached me was a political irritant, and he insulted me. He said he's the husband of my mother, Oko Yami, in Yoruba language. How can somebody who representing a governor say that kind of statement, and you expect me to honor such kind of individual? And when you talk about the election, I'm a Muslim. Whether I'm a senator or I'm not a senator, I'm a professional in my own right, and I don't care a hoot whether I lose or win an election. I did not even go to a tribunal. So if my mind is about politics, it's not about politics. I'm a person that believes in my hard work, believe in my profession, and I have a lot of respect for constitutional authority. But constitutional authority must work through people who are reasonable, people who have culture, and people who are civilized.
Senator,
not uncivilized people who don't even know how to conduct their affairs.
We need to anchor on this particular topic. Mr. Rashid, let me allow you to respond so that we can quickly close this. Mr. Rashid, are you still there?
People working for the governor are not unreasonable. They are not uncivilized. They are highly tested. And that's why they've turned Osun around in the last 7 months. All what could not be achieved in the last 4 years. Under Governor Adeleke and his team, a lot are being achieved. So the team is reasonable and more than civilized and tested, both locally and internationally. Now, on to the issue. The issue of government team not handling the protocol very well. I've cleared that. We have 3-man team. In fact, since last night, we have secured the position. That is an area where we put the red carpet for the governor. What I should have expected is that when the senator came in with Baba Bigmos, and they were told that that area is reserved, they should have ordinarily moved. If not that, there is an ulterior motive. And when he said assassination, I don't know the meaning of assassination. Senator Bashir should know that the man he's talking to is a student of language. He's a student of language, a tested editor for years. What I'm saying is this: when you say assassination attempt, so you want there to be gunshots and blood before you call it assassination attempt? When you file an assassination attempt, that means it does not happen, but it was on ground. And what we saw there is patently, clearly an attempt on the life of the governor. The place was encircled. The place was encircled. When he said he know nothing about who are those people, we asked, who brought those 3 buses? Who brought those 3 buses?
All right.
Now, lastly, sir, I mean, we just want to say this. Whether it's political or not, we wish Senator Bashir well in his endeavor to overthrow former Governor Yetola and Senator Mishori. But he should not use our government and the people of Osogbo as a cannon fodder. Osogbo is enjoying a grace that is so incomparable to what has happened in the life of any other administration. Osogbo people are hungry that their own son is creating problem for them. So Senator Bashir should rather join us in developing Osogbo, Ede, Iwo, and other areas. And let me repeat it again. Governor Adeleke has a super team, and that is why Emmanuel is shining all over.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Olaro Rashid, who is the spokesperson to Governor Adeleke, and Senator Ajibola Basiru, thank you so much for stating your side of the story tonight on the program on what happened.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. I appreciate it.
Distinguished, thank you very much.
Yeah. We'll take a break, everyone. And when we come back, I will be speaking with a presidential candidate in the 2023 election. We'll be looking at state of the nation. He's had a very, very strong background in the area of digital technology and entrepreneurship. We'll be speaking about Tinubu's ideas of governance and moving this nation forward. Stay with me, everyone. We'll be right back. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. You heard what President Tinubu said today after the Sallah prayers in Lagos. He said Nigerians will have to make sacrifices, and he's asking that we should show faith in this country. Tonight, we'll be hearing from a presidential candidate of the YPP, Mr. Malik Ado Ibrahim, who is a tech entrepreneur, a businessman, and was run in the presidential race in 2023. Thank you so much. And it's good to see you again, Mr. Ibrahim.
Thank you very much.
What do you make of that statement, the president asking Nigerians to make sacrifices?
Well, first, happy Eid to everybody and all Muslim faithful.
I'm sorry for bringing you out on a day like this.
It's okay.
I know it's difficult.
Well, the country
feasting
needs...
with family and all that.
Absolutely.
And I had to bring you out in the midst of that.
It's okay.
Thank you so much indeed.
Thank you. You know, I must say on a personal note, I'm quite impressed with what's going on in the country. There's a sense of hope. And with hope, there's prayers. And I think in any nation that's embarking on a new direction, yes, we should have faith. We should give an opportunity to the government. He's been sworn in. He's my president. He's everybody's president. So I think the most important thing right now is we give hope a chance, and we give him a chance to be able to do the right things for this nation. Yes, a lot of prayers. And, you know, I think on the government's part, it also has to put the right people in the right place so that that hope is extended into actual action. And I believe that already we're seeing good signs of that. And I pray that he has good health and a healthy mind and a good cadre of people around him to execute what will be a very difficult road for Nigeria over the next 4 years.
So you're given a feeling that your response is as though Bola Tinubu is someone you are happy to lose to. with what has happened in the last few days?
Well, loss is not something I take lightly, but I just look at it as, look, this is God's will. And I'm not here to cause a problem for 200 million Nigerians. And I believe that those that are in court will do what they need to do to clear this way. And we have to get back into the business of having a country that works rather than in this malaise of just hopelessness. And I'm just happy that things are going the right way.
You have a feeling that, maybe for a moment, we might be getting some things right. And what gives you that feeling? The utterances of a man that has written down what he's going to do and does what he does, for me, it shows the strength of character that we've missed, and we've lacked for the last number of years. And I think that the hope that we get is things like the unitary policy on our currency. We're seeing people being brought to book. We're seeing action being taken in areas which the nation really needs to consider. And these are brave things you do in your first 100 days of office. You don't take, this is a honeymoon period, but the brave and the good leader takes those very hard steps immediately. You show your direction. You think he's shown audacity?
He's had gumption, audacity to do the right thing and to do the things that everybody knows will change this nation. It's a bitter pill. We all have to accept that things are going to be difficult. Some things have been done, I think, a little bit backward, but I think things like the currency, I think the fuel subsidy, that was the immediate shock that got everybody going. Although uttered, as he said, sort of off script, things, I don't think this idea of palliatives, we keep talking about them. We need good governance. We need things put in place. We need, and we're talking about CNG when we should be talking about electric vehicles. We're going back in time. We're not doing the right things. We're not bringing the right tools together. But the initial action has happened. And I really hope that in the hope of a better Nigeria, some of us are brought together so that we can give our own take on things, because you cannot know everything, and sometimes you just need external help to move those things forward.
I mean, by tomorrow it will be exactly 1 month since President Tinubu got into office, and he's made some policies and he's steered the country in a direction where a lot of people may be feeling some hardship right now from the effect of his policies and his actions. And when he's saying we must make sacrifices, some of his critics have come out to say, we're already spilling blood. What more do you want from us? Are you choking us? We no longer can breathe at this moment. So asking for sacrifice in that sense, for those who are feeling, who are below the pyramid, in the bottom of the pyramid, I mean, how does that sit down with them, those who are already being pained by the actions of the government's decisions?
Well, in 30 days, very little can be done that can show that turnaround. This is a massive vessel on the ocean. It takes time for it to turn around. Those looking for immediate action are looking for witchcraft or some crazy notion that you can switch it over. A magician. Asiwaju is, his team and his actions, we need to give it time. I remember when the last administration came in, everybody believed that things would change, people would stop at traffic lights, all this corruption would go. But brave things were not done. We could have had this subsidy removed 8 years ago. It wasn't done. The time has come to make those changes. We're on life support. The country's on life support, and we need a surge.
Delicate actions.
Absolutely. Yeah. And if you don't take those steps, we're dead. The patient is dead.
Let me take you to an area that is familiar, that you are familiar with. You have spoken to me on this program on how we can digitize our security and our fight against some of the security challenges we are facing.
Yes.
If you had to speak to the president tonight, I mean, some of the ideas that you have here shared, you were hoping that you will become president, but now the lot is falling on another person.
Yes.
Insecurity is a major problem, and we cannot progress economy-wise if we do not get the security right.
Absolutely.
To remotely, digitally secure this country, which way do you think is best for us to go?
Well, the tools have been there. We haven't used them. And unfortunately, things like our satellite are expiring.
Really? NACOMSAT?
Yes, NACOMSAT is on its last legs. It's got a couple more years to go, but it hasn't been used properly. Since the brave move of Obasanjo till now, nothing has happened. It's not doing what it's supposed to do.
And the Chinese have collected their money.
Yes, well, first they gave us the wrong one, and now they replaced it. We've gone through the turmoils of this.
So the first one was lost in space.
They lost it, and we had a replacement, and it really hasn't done everything it's supposed to do. We don't need to rely on that. We need to realize that the country needs eyes in the sky. We need to bring some of the new tools, the new age tools. First, look at the way in which we can observe movement. We look at places like the forests of this country that are the havens for inequity and all kinds of banditry. We should be able to bring a force of note into Nigeria's security element that begins to look at how do we number these people, how do we figure out where they are, how do we present a very robust activity towards clearing them out. And I think more importantly, all these ideas that the system have been used ideas. We need fresh blood, we need fresh thinking. I think the national security apparatus needs to have a rejig. It's nice to see that the service chiefs have come to a level where they can, we got younger men of the same cadre and a good thinking group of men that will come in. And I just hope that we get to people like myself who have those tools, understand how those tools work. And there are quite a few Nigerians that do this, that can come together and be a helping hand in trying to get these things, these ideas of digitalizing and giving sort of the kind of digital presence, the technology presence that a country like Nigeria should have.
I mean, so you're saying that NACOMSAT is expiring?
Expiring, yes.
Yeah. Next year, or when is it?
I think it's got probably 2, maybe it can be extended to 3 years, but it's whatever you're going to do now is not going to be able to work in 3 years' time. We need an alternative.
The president was led by Babangana Muguno, the former NSA, to a terrorism center, anti-terrorism monitoring center here in Abuja, which looks like a state-of-the-art in terms of the edifice. We do not know what kind of gadgets. In terms of the pictures that we saw coming out of there, it looks like the state of the art. You imagine maybe you are in the headquarters of the CIA, but I mean, it is not the bricks and the walls that matter. It's perhaps the technology or the gadgets that have been used and intelligence that have been employed in that sense. If you see that kind of edifice, I'm very sure that they may not want to expose what is on the inside of it. But then, for the NSA, for example, look at what obtains in other countries of the world where they've battled similar security challenges that we're facing. In what direction do you think it should be looking?
Well, I mean, the new National Security Advisor has a task in his hand, and I don't think following the path that has been a disaster for the last 8 years is the right path to take. We have some very able men and women in the National Security Agency that can deliver, but the tools, it's not what you see that is most important, is what the actions is, the results. And we have not seen results. They haven't been tangible so the public can have that faith. And we need to give absolute faith to the public that yes, you can go about your business. Investors can come into this country.
Are you saying that we cannot remotely see how our enemies are operating with the satellite that we
don't have an optical satellite. It doesn't have eyes in the sky. It wasn't built like that. We are utilizing other people's satellites for that. We have a wasted asset. In my mind, it's dead. Forget it. We need to look at ways in which we can secure this country. We can take feeds from other satellites around the world. It's what you analyze. What you see is not always what you get. You've got analysts that must look at the information that is gleaned from these satellites and then assess what the threat is. And when you're in this security apparatus, you also need the actors, the end users, the Nigerian men and women in boots, those brave souls, to have that core, that unity that things can work. And the coordination that the NSA's office needs to have is the key aspect of what's going to happen next. If they do not coordinate, if we do not have the right men that understand how to bring these brave men and women together so that they are actionable and they can create results, no matter how many pictures you have, no matter how beautiful the NSA's office is, no matter how many cannons you have hanging outside your wall, it's not going to do any good.
One of my guests here, I mean, there was a global terrorism conference, and some of the reports emerging is that some of these terrorists are now devising new ways. They're using remote technologies to now deploy bombs and attack on Nigerian soil. And in fact, they are using satellite telephones that may be a bit difficult to track. So, I mean, you look at those dynamics, and if you were in the shoes of the president and the NSA, for example, what would you do right now?
I think key to the point is try to understand what assets do we have on the ground, not boots. What technology do we have on the ground? If this is really true, and of course they are using satellite technology to communicate, because most of the cell sites in the Northeast and in other areas are down. There are ways of jamming these. There are ways of tracking them. There's ways of triangulating information. We don't have a digital feed. We don't have a collation center that has all the information on every citizen. Triangulating your enemy is a very important part of tracking and tracing. Satellite will do one part of it. We also have drones, and those have been very successful, by the way. The military has done an incredible job in utilizing, especially the Turkish drones that have come into Nigeria. But we now need to find a way to get Army, Navy, Air Force, Civil Defense, Police, DSS, NSA's office, coordinating that and giving the president a brief on a daily basis. This is what we're doing. Get him to buy in on the action and bring private sector in, because what happens outside? Companies like Google and Apple are also giving information to the National Security Agency in the United States. MI6 depends on companies like Vodacom because the cell towers are there. You can't just do this on your own. It is a coordinated effort with patriots looking for a better country, looking to do the right thing to make sure Mr. President is successful.
It is not only in the security sector that we have a problem or challenges of coordination. Even economy-wise, there are those vast areas that tax nets that are not captured properly, and we're losing so much in terms of revenue. Those who believe that a lot needs to be done in coordinating and looking at areas where, revenue, we have a challenge in revenue generation in this country. And oil, a mainstay of our economy. There are those who believe that we need also to till the ground in a more sophisticated manner. There are those who will say, look, some of the biggest economies in the world are backed, the spine are in the digital economy. The Apples of this world, the Samsung of this world, Elon Musk and all what have you. Digital economy. How much of that can we really, really dig into?
The cornerstone of a digital economy is power. You can have the best, most fancy equipment, even the satellite that's beautiful and looks good, and an office with the NSA's office, all these cameras and everything in it. If the power doesn't work, if you don't have constant power, industry doesn't work, security doesn't work, healthcare doesn't work. The digitalized economy needs electricity to move. And in order for us to move this country forward, the number one, and I'm not the president, but if I was sitting in front of my president, I would say, if you're not focusing on power, you won't get this in 4 years' time. Nigerians are sick and tired of having oil, great sunshine, wind, and not the enabling environment to work. You have to give that enabling environment. Make it a task. Make it the number one way to build Nigeria.
You have investments in alternative energy. How easy? How can we overcome it?
The mindset, the brains, the young people to do this are here. I'm working with some of the brightest minds that I can find to make these things happen. We're putting power stations up in record time. But, there's a conflict of interest from my side of it, because this is something I do, there's something I've done well, there's something I've done internationally. And there are very few companies globally that have the kind of understanding of renewable energy like we do. And we're seeing this in other nations asking us to come and help. But when we bring it to our country, to our people, to show success.
How much of achievement have you gotten in that sector?
Well, put it this way, we're the largest renewable energy company in Africa and in the Southern Hemisphere at the moment. We build more power stations using solar and storage. We're the largest storage producer in the world. And in fact, about 2 weeks ago, we just signed the largest production deal for renewable energy storage. And the climate economy is sitting in Nigeria. This is the number one thing. Forget agriculture, because even if you take the stuff out of the ground, you have to beneficiate it. You need power. You need power to be able to get those good products and get them ready for the marketplace, whether it's Nigeria or internationally. If you're not looking at other elements, the climate economy giving you lithium, cobalt, titanium, copper, these are things Nigeria is rich at. We should be having a focus group on a global scale. Where do we get this climate economy to work? Why aren't we building jobs for Nigerians, and why aren't we exporting this power?
So if President Tinubu needs to get anything to jumpstart this economy, power is at the core of it.
The core element to every Nigerian success today, whether at home, at school, in your health, in your business, is power.
I have 20 seconds to go.
Yes, sir.
What do you think the rest of the world looks forward to, looks to Nigeria for, in terms of what we perhaps are not really exploring, that the rest of the world really needs and we have it in abundance? What would that be?
Our incredible mindset. We have young people, we have incredible minds. We need somebody that's going to be incredible to lead those minds to success. The world is looking for us. We're everywhere and we're great everywhere, but at home we're this lackluster and we need to get greatness.
Do you have the feeling that the time for Nigeria is now?
I have the feeling it's now. I have the feeling that, given the chance, and I'm not someone to go after somebody in a negative way. I just believe that maybe in all the hullabaloo of everything that has gone on, Mr. President might have an opportunity to gather Nigerians to do the right thing, and I pray that's the case.
I remember in the South African Osun, the World Cup, one of the themes is the time of Africa. Maybe this is just a time for Nigeria.
If Nigeria leads, Africa will follow. There's no doubt about it in my mind.
I believe it in my mind. And, well, if the president is watching tonight, it's a challenge to him.
Absolutely.
That he has all of us in Nigeria. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Malik Ado Ibrahim, EYPP presidential candidate in the 2023 presidential election. Thank you so much indeed.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you so much for leaving all the feasting and all what have you with family to speak to me on the program tonight. Thank you so much, everyone. And I hope that you spare this very wonderful time of yours in the Sallah celebration to watch the program. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow again at 7. I'm Sean Kimale. Bye-bye.